Hey everyone, it's Stepa, and today is the day I'm gonna do a shoe collection video. I think I said I was gonna do this like a month or two ago, maybe more, but I'm only getting around to do it now. But I hope that you guys will enjoy it. I've always really liked shoes, and specifically kind of like unique but wearable shoes, if that makes sense. There are a lot of type of shoes that I love seeing, but I know I wouldn't be able to get much wear out of in like real life, so I don't actually have them. All of these shoes I feel like I could wear pretty comfortably in real life, although I will say there's some that I definitely use less than others. Oh, before we actually get started, I'm probably gonna call this something like my shoe collection, like I said earlier. However, I think collection might not be a great word here because I feel like collection implies something that you keep and don't use, or rather, maybe not don't use, but you care for to the extent that you can preserve it as part of your collection for a very long time, if that makes sense. Since I feel shoes don't have an like indefinite life, especially since I live in Hong Kong and the streets are extremely dusty and dirty, and it's like when it rains it's like a mess, things like that. I do end up throwing shoes away eventually, especially if they are the sneaker type shoe. But yeah, we're gonna get to that. So consider this more of a current collection, but like some of these will probably be rotated out and replaced by other things as well. Similarly, I would like to give a warning because some of these shoes are very dirty and scuffed up. I guess you could see that as proof of use. However, I know they're not very nice to look at anymore because, well, I think I've just used them so thoroughly that they're not in pristine condition anymore. Actually, they're very far from pristine condition. They are in pretty atrocious condition. So, apologies for that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to talk about sneakers first. What's interesting with sneakers is that I kind of had a phase where I didn't like them. So when I was growing up as a kid, I loved Converse. I loved just wearing Converse all the time. Specifically, I think I had like a navy pair that I wore to the point where it became like the folds become white because of use. I used that so much. They were easy to slip on. They were comfortable to me. I liked how they looked. I also had the like knee-high ones, like the knee-high Converse. Low-key, like there was a time where I think that was cringe, but now I'm looking at it, that was still a look. I still think that's cool. After that, I kind of moved on to not liking sneakers much. I liked like kind of heels and stuff more. And now I'm bringing sneakers back because I do like the chunky nature of them generally. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at one that I already featured on my channel before. I gotta be careful because they're a bit dirty. But yeah, it's this Charles and Keith pair. You might remember I got them last year at Charles and Keith. I was really attracted to the unique design, like how this part is, like, how do you say, exposed? Like the silver and pink combination. I thought it was cute, but still very stylish and not like a sports shoe sneaker, which is what I don't like. I don't like running shoes and like sporty looking shoes kind of things because I really don't like athleisure and that kind of aesthetic. I'm really not into it. I mean it's like functional, but like as a fashion thing, not for me. So yeah. The shoe basically has laces, but the way you wear it is just using the strap. So pretty easy to wear. This is actually size 35. They basically didn't have size 36, so I went for 35 and it was okay. This was, I think, my most used shoe from last spring to maybe the end of summer. I used them a lot, and ever since then I used them a bit casually. The reason why I kind of stopped using them a bit is because on rainy days they are not good. They're not good for rainy days. All the rain goes in and stuff like that. So when like monsoon season came around, or that's not monsoon season, it's near the end of summer last year in Hong Kong, we were hit by like super fucking heavy rain, like black rain, typhoon. It's around there where I switched to something else. But yeah, so I still really like them and I wear them now and then. However, they will be on the, like, I will be probably getting rid of them eventually. And I'll show you guys why. Do you see how the heels are worn? Like this. Like they've become scratched up. I actually don't really mind when shoes do this. However, I know if you wear shoes too much when they're like this, you eventually might get bleeding. I think that's what happened with my last pair of sneakers. I wore them to death and basically I cut up the back of my heels and then I walked into a classroom and I scared the kids. I think I might try taping or putting fabric over on top first so I can preserve them a bit longer because I still really like the chrome look to them. The second pair of sneakers I've had I think for a bit longer than the previous ones. This is from a brand I don't even know. This is 18. They are much chunkier type shoes, and I think they are a Hong Kong brand. Actually, what happened was my friend and I were walking through a mall, and I have like very bad perception skills in the sense where I tend to just see the overall thing, so like the mall, the mall and the shops, and I can't really spot out specific things very easily. So she noticed these in the window and was like, look at those. And I thought they were so pretty. I love pink shoes. You guys know I love pink, so it caught my eye, obviously. Well, actually, it didn't catch my eye. It caught her eye for me. Thank you. Thank you. And actually, the shop was closed, and I was like, why is the shop closed? And it turns out like the girlie was on like bathroom break, so she came back like 2 minutes later. She opened and I could take a look at them. I think one of the things I liked a lot about the shoe was this kind of like lightning looking design you have here. This is actually removable like this, right? You can actually like take it off and have like a plain shoe if you want, but like that's ugly, so I don't want that. So here we go. I think it looks very cute, very modern, edgy, but pastel. I like that. However, I do think that they make my feet look really big. Like I'm giving Sora Kingdom Hearts when I'm wearing them. And you know what? Full respect to my boy Sora, but since I'm really short, I do be looking like I have big feet. What I do like though is wearing them with something that kind of widens the legs. Think of like a leg warmer that makes the calf go open, like widen out instead of narrowing down into the ankle. I think then proportionately it kind of fixes that kind of like big shoe, big feet look. So I like wearing it that way, but if I wear them on my own, my feet definitely look a bit too big for my overall frame. Because of that, I actually haven't been putting that much wear into them anymore because it's actually like too hot to wear if I always have to wear them in that way. But I still really like them. They are very scuffed up and dirty, but I still think that they are in good shape enough to keep. I don't need to get rid of them, so I'll be keeping them for the time being and wearing them now and then. This next pair of shoes, I'm probably not going to talk about too much just because they are going to be featured in an upcoming video, which is like my spring purchases, because it's something I bought like a couple months ago. It's these shoes from Charles and Keith. They are part of their like 2026 Valentine's Day launch. I really like shopping around Valentine's Day. It's generally where a lot of the stuff that I like comes out, you know, Valentine's Day, spring, all the pastels and pinks and hearts come out. I was really attracted to this whole shoe. If you take a look, this is the kind of sneaker that is quite thin, a bit dainty, while the other sneakers I had were a bit chunkier, which is generally what I prefer. However, I was still really attracted to this design, not only for the textile, I always say as you may know. You guys don't know, let me just tell you. Just like how I like chrome and silver things, I've always liked things that are highly reflective, like PVC or satin in this case. So this kind of very reflective textile, it appeals to me. And this thing that kind of looks like an apron, super cute. Anyways, I won't talk about them too much. I'll talk about them next time, but that is my current new pair of sneakers that I got. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to transition into the next part of the shoes I'm going to show you, which is platform shoes, because the next platform shoes I'm going to show you are kind of slightly sneaker-like, I guess. No, they're not sneaker-like. I don't know. They just have laces. But yeah, I actually have a lot to say about these shoes. So I'm going to show you them first real quick, and then we'll talk about them. So it is these really big, chunky pink shoes in this kind of satiny finish. And they are by Koi Footwear. I put them down because they're heavy. Before I get into talking about what I like about them and stuff like that, I just want to be like upfront and say that they are by Koi Footwear, which is a brand I don't know that much about, but they have like kind of interesting shoes. However, I bought these, I think like quite a while ago. I can't remember. I've had them for a while, and I bought them from Dolls Kill. I'm fully aware that Dolls Kill is highly controversial and a terrible website to buy for, and therefore I have not bought from them Actually, that was the last product I bought from them before I really went like no. But even when I bought those shoes, I was already aware that Dolls Kill was like pretty horrible. However, I think I made the exception specifically back then because I told myself it was another brand, like it was Koi Footwear, but this shoe was only available on that site kind of thing. I think today, with the morals I have, I would not make that decision because I would just not buy from that website at all because I don't support what it stands for kind of thing. But I think back then I was more willing to maybe make an excuse for something like that. So I would say, oh yeah, I don't support Dolls Kill, but this is like by Koi Footwear, so it's okay even if I buy off that website. Do you guys know what I mean? I'm not saying that is correct. I think that's just an excuse. And I think now that I'm a bit older, I say a bit older, I was still like maybe like 25, like old enough to know better. But yeah, so that's the reason I have them. Even though I really like the design of them and that, you know, they are by Koi Footwear, I just want to say that I don't support Dolls Kill and highly recommend you to not support them as well. If you're like me, where you kind of, I don't know, you find these kind of websites, not specifically Dolls Kill, like any kind of website that's like really, like they stand for things that you don't support, you know what I mean? But there's maybe like one item that you like on it. I just really feel like it's not worth it. Like that's how I feel now. I think back then I was more likely to turn a blind eye to something like that because it was like, oh, it's not exactly the brand. Like I wouldn't buy from the Dolls Kill brand, but it's just on their website. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain, but yeah, I think it's worth questioning if it's really worth it. That being said, I still have these because, well, I bought them and throwing them away would just be wasteful when they're still perfectly fine. So let me show you them. Hey, it's editing lapin here because I realized while editing that I feel like I was being too vague about the Dolls Kill thing, and also that I didn't actually know any like too much specific detail in order to write it in the subs. So I actually went to look into it, and I just wanted to explain first of all what I found out, and also to inform you guys. So I just wanted to clarify a little bit. First of all, when I'm referring to Dolls Kill's issues and controversies in this video, like me 2 seconds ago, I was specifically talking about something I remembered quite vividly, which is they attempted to sell a Native American headdress. I think this was back in like 2015, and the reason it's so prominent in my mind is because that's when I was the most active on Tumblr, and this was definitely a big issue on Tumblr. It was circulating, people were talking about it, and yeah, I remember it. I think they had a few other things there. However, I just looked up like what they're doing, and there were some other things that I don't remember or did not hear of. But very specifically, the one that I had not heard about was the fact that the CEO at that time had maybe made a post in support of the police during the Black Lives Matter protests, which is, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy shit. I just want to say that I was not aware of that when I was making the video, and I was not aware of that when making my purchase, even though I must have made the purchase around that time or like after that time. I think that has to do with me not being on Tumblr anymore. Based on that, I was gonna say, now you guys know what they've done, and now I know more clearly as well. However, apparently on their Reddit post, they also seem to be doing a little bit better in the sense like they're trying to fix things, like the CEO stepped down, and also they donated a lot. I'll put up the post that I saw, but like they've tried to make things right. Personally, I'm not sure if that's enough, but like I also understand the difficulty of like having a brand that's existed for a long time with a string of controversies that date back quite a while, and the ones that are most recent, like you've actually done something about it. However, I think I still wouldn't buy from them. Like I think I still stand where I am like in my video. But yeah, I just wanted to give some more information because I didn't know some things and I wasn't clear on some things, so I hope that this helps. Back to me when I'm blonde. As you can tell, I've used this pretty thoroughly because look at this mess. There's like splatters here and this inside scratching. this is something you'll notice on most of my shoes that I wore pretty well. I tend to scuff my shoes in between because I guess my feet are very close to each other when I walk. So the insides of the shoes will always have this kind of scuffing in this area. I really like that satiny texture, just like with the Charles & Keith shoes. I think that it's very attractive, especially when it's pink. The fact that it's a platform also appealed to me greatly because I'm quite short and I really like platforms or anything that gives me like some sort of height. And one last thing that's pretty specific is that I liked the eyelets being used here because it reminded me of like ice skating shoes. I thought that they were very unique. These also are the type of shoes that make my feet look huge, but they look pretty good with like warmers and stuff like that. And I liked wearing them in that way. I haven't worn them for a long time because I'm still a bit conflicted about them, really. Like, I like them, but I'm like, does it represent what I don't know. I tell myself, like, they are koi footwear, ultimately. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about that kind of dilemma. Like, I don't mean the is it okay to order from a website just because like you like one item from another brand but like you don't support the website. I mean more like the having something from a brand you don't agree with but you already have it but you don't know if you should use it, you know, like that kind of thing. I'd like to know what you have to say about that. The next pair of platforms are these. They are just like these basic black ankle boots. They look kind of huge when I hold them next to me. They are also like size 36. I think these are just ASOS brand, and honestly, when I look at them, there's nothing in particular that I like other than the fact that they're basic black boots. I bought them a very long time ago. I think I bought them specifically because I just needed a pair of basic black boots, if that makes sense, and I think my previous pair had like run out. I couldn't find any, so I just went for a pair that worked, and this ended up being it. Admittedly, I don't really wear these much anymore because it doesn't fit in the stuff I wear. However, I will tell you how I did love wearing them. It's kind of not how you would expect, but I really liked wearing them after doing Pilates. So I have like these black pair of leggings that I would use when doing Pilates back like a year and a half or 2 years ago. I don't do Pilates anymore because it's really expensive. And my Pilates fit was not a pink Pilates princess thing. It was just like black leggings and a t-shirt, right? Like a normal outfit. And I loved wearing these boots with them because it made my legs look really long because the black from the leggings and the black from the shoe just connected. I actually don't have that much to say about them, but yeah, I do have a pair of basic black shoes in here too. Something I want to say for both of these shoes is that they're really heavy to wear, so I feel like I'm getting a proper workout when I'm wearing them, especially these ones. These are super heavy shoes, so not appropriate to like go on vacation with or anything like that. Next up, let's do kind of my miscellaneous shoes kind of thing. I don't have categories for it, so yeah, I have a few pair of shoes here. I'm kind of embarrassed to show you guys this because you've seen these before not long ago in just my recent like winter purchases video, and these are the Rockfish shoes. Oh my god, look at the state of them. That is like, mind you, these used to be pink. I'm gonna put up a picture. Okay, I'm gonna hold up in front of me and then put a, ooh, I don't want to. I'm gonna put a picture up right here just so you can see the before and after. Yeah, they've been through a lot. So this was my most worn shoe this winter. Of course, these kind of UGG type shoes were massively trending. However, I was never tempted to get them until Rockfish released them in pink, of course, very typical of me. And I honestly don't regret them. They were really comfy, and even to this day, now that it's getting warmer, I still kind of wear them because I want to get maximum use out of them. Because honestly, I can't see myself keeping them after this winter. I say after this winter, I mean like for the next winter, I feel like I would just buy a new pair. The reason for this is because, like I said, Hong Kong is extremely dusty on the streets, and even the fur collected so much dust that it got discolored. I think you see a difference, especially in the folds here, the areas that got all dusted up and the areas that preserved even a tiny bit of the original color. Yeah, I don't know. And the worst thing is that, do you see this really dark patch here? That was when I had attempted to clean it. Like, I'm not sure how you're meant to clean these well. I just feel like it got worse, so I've left them as they are. I'm kind of regretful to say that they only lasted one season in terms of like I can wear them still, like they are totally fine. It's just that they're really really dirty, so I kind of don't feel compelled to keep them until next season. I would rather buy a new pair. I'm still not sure about that, but it kind of makes me feel like, should I be buying a pink pair now in advance for winter while it's on sale, or wait till winter time to see new designs or see if they even have pink ones at all? I'm not really sure about that. Like I said, I do feel regretful that I only wore it for like basically like late autumn, winter, and spring. However, considering that I wore this at least like 3 or 4 days a week for the past like 5 months, I do think that it was pretty worth it, considering they were also not too expensive for what they were as well. You guys, let me know for this. First, how do you guys keep your Uggs clean? 2, is it worth getting a new pair? If so, now or in winter? And 3, what do you feel when you get shoes that are really dirty but still functionable? Like, do you keep them? Do you discard them? What do you think? Because I feel like it kind of makes me look like a slob sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I'm already a very messy person, so messy, dirty shoes makes me look even more like, you know? This next pair you guys have seen already, and they are also very fucked up, so please bear with me. They are the woomii shoes that I got around like the beginning of summer last year. I did not know when I bought these that they would end up being my most used shoe like of the year. I think I completely did not think about, like, I bought them because they're cute, right? But I didn't even consider that they could be so comfortable. They are so comfy. Like, they are like slip-ons to me in the same way that the Uggs were, except they fit a bit more snugly. They are, as far as I'm concerned, like almost perfect shoes. Let me show you how fucked up these got. You'll see the satin is completely stained and the front is very gray. Some of the bows have come undone, although I can easily tie these up. I tie them back up very easily. The inside has scuff marks as usual, like that's how I walk, so it ends up that way. The heel is super dirty. I'm showing you guys this because I just want to communicate, I guess, like how much I've used these shoes and how much I love them. They really don't look like they would be comfortable, but to me they are very comfy. What I really liked about this design is that it has a very cute, dainty look, but it's also, you know, a bit different than just like a ballet flat. Like, I like the heel, I like the sling back, I like also the woomii logo. I don't know, it's just like the perfect kind of like ballet kind of shoe to me. I am definitely planning on buying a new pair. I think I'm just waiting for when, because it's like there's lots of shoes that I like from woomii, as you know from my previous like things I've listed over videos. But I don't know, I feel like I could still get some wear out of them, so I'm still wearing them, but eventually they will be replaced by like the exact same pair but new. Before I move on, I want to say that the only downside of the shoe is that it's extremely hard to clean. I literally have such a hard time keeping them clean, even though I tried really hard. Like, I used to scrub them as soon as there was dirt and stuff like that. Eventually they did get dirty, so yeah. This next pair of shoes is also by Charles and Keith, and it's also like ballet inspired, except compared to the woomii ones, they are definitely of a different vibe. They are of a pewter color, like this dark chromish silver, which I was very attracted to. Again, it's shiny, I like it. very expected of me. And it also has the square toe, which is what I tend to prefer. I know we haven't seen like square toes much in the previous shoes I've shown you, but I think it might become a bit more evident when I show you some of the other shoes that I have. Generally, square toe is my preference, like this kind of rounded one. I think it's very cute, and again, it looks ballet-ish, which is probably why I like it. Other than the kind of ballet inspo from this, something that I really liked was these heart rivets that you have on the side. I think that they are such a cute detail. I feel like if they didn't have heart rivets, I probably wouldn't be as attracted to them. The only thing is that I found it a bit hard to style these, so I haven't worn them that much. Like, I've definitely worn them, but they're not like a everyday use kind of thing. I think it would have been easier maybe if I could change the laces to a lighter color, but the sole remains black, so it's still a bit harder to pair with the stuff that I own. I think this year I might want to focus a bit on expanding my clothing back outwards, because at some point I was buying a lot of different colors, but mostly pink and black. And then I kind of narrowed to mostly pink and white. I think I want to open a bit more so that I can make use of these items that I really, really do like, but have nothing that really match with them. Everyone, it's time to talk about boots. Not just ankle length boots, but knee-high boots as well. If you know my art, it might be evident that I really enjoy boots. I think that they are super cunty. I love like things like go-go boots, like those shiny boots. Was it like PVC or like leather boots, that kind of thing? I like those. So let me show you the 4 pairs of boots I have. I have 2 like ankle boots, and then I have 2 knee-high boots. I think the first ankle boots you've never seen on this channel. It's these pink ones. Oh my god, are they not so beautiful? Look at them. Square toe, just like I like them. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful heeled ankle boots. They are by, I think, Azalea Wang, and there is one major downside to these shoes, and it's that my size was sold out, so I bought them in a bigger size. Yeah, let me tell you, don't do that. Don't do that because especially in shoes with a heel like this, your foot slips forward very easily if the shoe is too big for you. Also with heels in general, like you could very easily fall, twist your ankle and die. So don't do what I did. However, I still also don't have regrets on having these. I think they are very, very beautiful shoes. I have managed to fuck them up in the few times I've worn them, unfortunately. Of course, we have the inner scuff marks. Where would I be without them? And I also managed to stain this area. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I did. You might have seen my OC wear them like all the time. How many times did I say I like shiny textures in this video? Well, among all shiny textures, for shoes, this kind of PVC patent leather look, that is the one I like the most. And in pink, no less, I really cannot think of anything better than this. Like, this is where life peaks, does it not? Amazing. I think I used to have a pair that was knee-high. However, because I have pretty big, what they called, pretty big calves, because I be walking, I'd be standing on my tiptoes, you know what? The sock type shoe didn't really fit with me, you know, like the very tight calves. So I actually sold those and now I wear these ones instead. These are definitely like a winter boot kind of shoe. I don't wear them in the summer. I also don't wear them too often just because they're a bit too big for me, and if I have to do a lot of walking and I know I'm going to slide around in them, probably not the best. You can't see, but I have a kind of sole inside them as well to tighten up the space and to prevent slipping. I think that I recommend them if you have oversized heels like me. Let me know if you like them because I do. The next pair of shoes I'm going to show you is probably the pair of shoes I find maybe like the cuntiest ass shoes I own. The shoes that I literally will never be able to part myself with, but for the life of me cannot style very well with the stuff that I own in my wardrobe. And that is... Oh, are they not so cunty? Just look at them. Oh my god. They are by Charles and Keith. Of course, you might have noticed a lot of my shoes are from Charles and Keith. And I think they are from a few years ago. They were part of their Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year collection. During Lunar New Year, red is a very lucky color, so they released a lot of red shoes, and I had to go and snag these up because they were literally so cunty. I could not let it go by. I knew that I wasn't gonna wear them on a daily basis at all, or even that frequently, but there is something about these that is like, you see them, you just gotta have them, especially if they're at a good price. They are the type of like sock boot where it's kind of tight on my calves because I do have big calves, but I just simply don't pull this up all the way, like whatever, you know? I really like this, the kind of like platform that's a bit cushiony, like a bit squishy looking. Generally, I don't like heels that are too high for myself because like I do want to walk. So I like when there's like a platform heel because the length of the heel, like the angle you're stepping at, is actually not as high as you would think. So these are pretty good for that. When I used to style these, I would basically just wear all white and then red. Like I wear an all white dress and I would put like a red bow and I would wear these. And I thought it was pretty cute, mildly cunt, you know? And I remember one day I was like walking, I went to work in them and then my boss was like, nice boots. And I was like, thanks. And then like a bit later, she was like, don't wear those boots to that occasion. And I was like, okay, girl. Anyway. We're gonna move on to knee-high boots. To match the red boots from Charles and Keith that I have also the matching black boots. They are, I think, a bit old at this point, maybe like 3 years old. They're the kind of boot I only pull out during the winter, even though this year I did not use them that much because I've switched away from black. I'll tell you, I would love to have these boots in whites now, but I haven't like justified buying a new pair yet, so yeah. Boots. You can see there is some wear to them. For example, this has like the paint coming off, and you can see in the reflection that they are scuffed on the inside, but since the shoes are black, you can't see the damage as much. It's funny to me how many items that I have that are black that I really like. I still love those boots. Like, I still draw that kind of shoe all the time. I just feel like it doesn't suit me as much anymore, but I can't really bring myself to part with them because I'm still like, just because it doesn't suit me doesn't mean I can't wear them. But I feel like I've done a lot of like focusing, like I said, narrowing down on my wardrobe, where I feel like a lot of the stuff that might have matched with it, I don't grab, or they are no longer in my wardrobe. You know, that kind of stuff? Like, it's very like narrowed down. However, there's still a lot of things I can see matching. Like, it's not like the red shoes where like nothing goes with it. These ones, there's still lots of things that can work. And I also think that having just like a black statement boot is kind of nice. So I am happy to have them. They do collect dust really easily, or maybe it's just more noticeable because I have to leave them out and like not in like a shoe area because they're too big. And so they get all dusty because they're black and stuff like that. Last pair of not only boots, but overall shoes that I'm showing you today are these pink ones right here that I have loved using this winter. You'll see that I'm a brute, so the insides are scuffed up, but the outsides looking not bad. I already shared the story for this boot back in my winter purchases one, but basically I saw that they were being sold on like a Western website, and then I just like found the manufacturer and bought them from them directly, and they took a while to produce, but they did come and they were nice. What I like about this shoe is that it does the same thing I mentioned previously, where instead of the calves going inwards, like you might see with all the other boots that I have, it actually straightens it so it doesn't emphasize the size of my calves, which is something that I'm not really insecure about because like my calves are as they are. It's just that like I don't want them to look that big regardless, you know what I mean? So I like how these smooth that out and create that silhouette that looks like big but a bit more like straight, if that makes sense, less curving inwards. I think this kind of silhouette or boot has been very popular this year. I'm pretty sure, I think I've seen a lot of girls wearing this kind of boot, maybe not in pink and maybe not this high, but definitely something wide here. I actually don't know the term for them because I am not like, I like fashion, but I'm not like a fashion in the know girly, you know what I mean? So I don't know the terms for it, but I am definitely going to be keeping this for the next winter as well. I think the shade of pink matches a lot of my clothes. It matches me as well because I'm gray and this one's kind of gray. I also remember I traveled to Seoul with it. I went to see my boys' concert wearing them, and they were super comfortable to walk around all day. I think I hit like 20,000 steps on that day wearing these, and they were no problem at all. So very happy to have them. Those are all the shoes that I have currently in my collection. Some of them I wear almost on a daily basis. Some of them, they are definitely on occasion, while the other ones are like I want to use them more, but I'm still trying to figure out how to style them. I think I definitely have the habit of like not buying now and think about it later, in the sense of like, do I like it or do I not? It's more like I know I like it and I know I have to just figure out a way to make it work, but I'm gonna figure out how to make it work with time. Does it make sense? It's not like you're buying it and then when you see it you're like, oh, I don't like it, or I don't know if I like it. It's just like, I'm buying it, I know I like it, I just need to think of how to pair it. And I'm still working on those, and I think I do like that. I want to spend this year, like I said, maybe exploring more in fashion, maybe doing things that are chopped and ugly, but at least I'm trying something, you know? And I think a good place to start would probably be those chrome Charles and Keith like ballet looking shoes. I definitely want to wear them more because they were also very comfortable. Boots, honestly, I don't have much occasion to use them right now that we're heading into summer, but maybe for next winter I'll think about it a bit more too. I asked a lot of questions on your opinions, so you guys can let me know the answers to that. But also, you can let me know if there are any shoes that you especially liked among the ones that I showed you, or any thoughts that you have, anything you think would pair well with some of these things. Also, a reminder, I have an Instagram now, which is more maybe fashion related. So if you're interested in content like this, but like maybe in shorter form, I don't know, you can check it out. If you want to see more videos from me, then I am going to link a video here, except I'm not going to choose this. Probably YouTube is going to choose this. I don't know what's going to be there, but there will be a video there for you to enjoy. And then there will also be my channel here, which is not strictly about like fashion or anything, just about my hobbies. So if you're interested in checking out more of my stuff and listening to me talk, then why don't you check it out? Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!